Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog, and today is part 2 of the room redos. I just finished baking up our bread for the week, as you've seen in the video. It's a beautiful little rainy, cozy day, and it's nice to be able to get dressed again in normal clothes and not paint clothes, and to brush my hair and just do some baking and some sort of homemaking to create a nice environment. As far as the house goes though, you can see in the video, it's just crazy to look at. So I'm gonna go and fold everything and as soon as I'm done here. But anyway, so this week has been crazy. We prepped the rooms, as you've seen, and after Christmas, it was a day or two before I could get to the actual painting. We went down to the paint store, selected our paint. I decided to do both rooms the same color just to keep it simple. I also went with a creamy white color because I did not want to repaint the ceiling. If you've ever painted a ceiling before, it is horrible. So I wanted to keep it super neutral instead of doing any sort of crazy color like we ended up repainting over this week with that pink. That is not something that I ever want to have again in our house. I just did not like it. But anyway, so that's gone and we just started painting. We just got our rollers and some brushes and began painting my daughter's room first. And we didn't have to do any sort of taping because the white was almost to where it matched the trim in the room, which was really nice. And I'm going to be repainting her. She has these sort of inserts in the wall, and those are going to be painted a different color. So I wasn't too concerned with having to paint around that and taping it off and all of that stuff. So we just dove right in, covered the floor with plastic and painted, and it went pretty darn smooth, I have to say. morning. I don't know how well you could see in this video, but I need to come in and touch up at the very top, which is the worst because that means I have to get the little ladder and get up and down, which is one of the worst parts of painting, but it needs to be done. So I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna get started on my room. And I do see as I'm filming this that there is some here at the bottom. So we're just gonna do some touching up. The next room was my room, of course. We did her room, we started in the evening, did a camp out in my room that night. Next morning we went and painted my room, prepped everything, wiped down the walls and the baseboards, and just began in there. And now this room is ready to paint. We have our little protection pads down, or drop cloths, I guess is what you'd call them. These are plastic, that's right, they work pretty good. And then I just put the large pieces of furniture right in the middle, piece of plastic over that. I'm not strong enough to get a TV off my wall, and I really don't want it on the wall anymore, but at some point I will remove that. But we're just gonna kind of paint around, and then I'll have some extra paint for when it finally does come off the wall. But other than that, this is the before the painting, and let's hope we survive. Perry, you ready for painting round 2? Yeah? You look excited. Yes. All right. So we are taking a lunch break and we're about halfway done. It already feels, oh my goodness, so much brighter. I don't know if you could tell from the video. We do have a lot of splotchy areas that I will need to go over again. However, it is almost halfway done, like I said. Actually, you know what? We might be over halfway done because I did get a little bit of this wall too. And all that is left is just a bit of pink around the door and this other main wall with the television. So I'm pretty happy with today. We're a little bit more professional today than when we started yesterday on her room because we just have more of a system going, and that's usually what happens. I find whenever doing a project like this that sometimes when you first begin, it begins a little bit more rough, but we are making progress. For lunch, we're gonna keep things easy and make croissant sandwiches. I have croissants, of course, some ham, some lettuce, some tomato cut on my cutting board, and some mayo. So we're just gonna keep it real easy. Like I said, I went back in there and looked and seen, you know, what sort of needed touching up on the wall and repainted that as was needed. And we're ready to redecorate. And some of the things that we want to decorate, it's going to be 2 different looks. Of course, her room's, you know, her style and my room's my style. But I want it to be where even though it's 2 different styles, it's still cohesive as far as the colors in the house go. It's not completely different. Her room, she wants a black and white theme. And at first she asked me if she could do a black room, and I will never paint a wall black in my house. I know that's kind of a trend right now, but that's not. It's super hard to paint over. I did a navy blue room in a different house, and that was a nightmare. So I'm not going to be doing black here, but what I did tell her is let's do a creamy white and then do black accents. And so that's sort of her theme that she's going to be decorating and doing in her room. And I think it's going to be very cute because I got these black hearts for Christmas that I put in her stocking, and we're going to sort of make it look like heart wallpaper with the black hearts on a accent wall. We have some other little black accents we're going to put on the wall just to make it pop, switch over the curtains and that sort of thing. So that should come out very cute. I'll show you the whole room when we're done with it, when we do the final reveal, which should be on Monday. My home is very eclectic, as you guys know, and you know, I'm going for an old world feel here, and it certainly feels that way when you're in here. And finally, it didn't feel that way when I first started to try to transition it over to that look. It took a while to collect a lot of the things that you see, and I'm still working on it. Everything's a work in progress, but it's coming together, and I think that it definitely feels that way in the big room that we have, that you guys have seen in the Christmas tour video if you watched that. And we have our main living room, and my kitchen definitely feels old world. And so my bedroom, just having it be that country pink look, just really was contrasting the rest of the house. And so I'm looking forward to putting it together as a beautiful sort of, I don't want to say minimalist because I am not a minimalist at all, but just I found this account on Instagram, and I can't even think of it at the top of my head, but she shows her French bedroom, and she's sort of minimalistic in nature as far as decorating. And I just love how she has a very crisp white room with a bed frame, the sort of bed frame I have, and wood furniture with only like 1 or 2 pieces of wood furniture in there. It's very plain, very clean, and but also has a few ornate frames that she has hung on her wall, and I really love the look of that. And so that's sort of the look that I'm going for. I want it very clean, but at the same time have some old world touches so that it is a cohesive look overall in my house, and it's a place that I enjoy being in instead of it being like this room every time I walk in it. So that's sort of what I'm going for. I have a few pieces around my house that I'm going to be decorating with. I'm not going to go out and do any shopping for this because we've already gotten all the paint and everything. I would like to redo my dresser. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that. I'm pretty sore and tired, and having to repaint some of the things I still have to work on as far as furniture items that I'm putting in my daughter's room. I'm pretty tired right there, and thinking that I have to do that still, but you know how it is. You might just get that surge. I might just get that surge of energy and go in there and paint the dresser too, because I already have the paint, and so we'll just kind of see. And so far, even though it's a lot of work, you know, it's been really fun to sort of work with my daughter side by side and see. She's such a little hard worker, and she's always in a spirit of helping, and I just find it to be so sweet. She'll just, you know, what do I need to do next, Mom? And she's just keeps on going until I say, no, you can go take a break. And so it's been really a sweet job to do alongside her, and I think it's going to come out beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and coming along and seeing the process so far. I can't wait for you guys to see Monday's video, because we are working on that presently with putting the rooms back together, and I hope that you'll stay tuned and come back and check it out and let me know what you guys think. Have a great weekend, a great week ahead, and of course a happy new year. I'll be back with that video, and yes, so have a great weekend and a great time with however you're celebrating the new year.